Hi guys, welcome to Sheer WX, and you got me, Jenny, and Carmen from our new adventure, Lost in the Storm. That's the symbol right above me there. Jenny's over. Oh, I'm getting good at this. Jenny's over there, and Carmen's over there. They can't see me, but you can all see me. Uh, it's going to be a quick or long 30 minutes, and we're going to talk about everything related to what we're going to do with Lost in the Storm, how it pertains to how we're chasing with Sheer this year, and then we'll talk about how we got into chasing and answer your questions. And I think that you're seeing multiple pop ups of the live chat, but don't worry about that. I don't know what I'm doing. So, first things first, let's welcome Carmen to Sheer WX. Everybody's clapping, I'm sure. Clap, 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 clap. Carmen and I have been chasing for a long time. Turns out, a long time. But she's always been a lone wolf. Our history goes back. We end up chasing once, and then we did an event at the Tellus World of Science. Then we were both administrators for Alberta Storm Chasers for a time, and we both retired from that because we wanted to do the chasing thing full time and other stuff, but mostly the chasing thing full time. And it's a heck of a thing to run a page that big, and especially in the storm season when you're also trying to chase tornadoes. But yeah, Carmen, tell us your story.
Um, cool. Well, thanks for that intro, Chris. It's definitely been an interesting ride. I just got a hold. It's funny, actually. I'm friends with one of the really old chasers in this area, Steve. And he was the one who I went on tour with him for a summer, and he was telling me about all these cool storm chasers and catching tornadoes and things, and all reading data and reading models, and he was kind of showing me some things. And I was like, this is really cool. I'd like to try this. And he said, oh, just hop into Alberta Storm Chasers and just ask somebody to give you a ride.
And then she got abducted for 5 years, and then she made it out.
Right. Yeah. And it was really cool. Actually, Chris was the one who answered my message. And it was the coolest experience ever. Chris is an amazing chase partner, is an amazing guy, answers lots of questions, has patience of a saint.
I make up a lot of answers, you know.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah, because I admin for ASC for a while, but it was really encompassing. There's a lot of stuff to do there, and I really wanted to just get out into the field and chase. So luckily here I am now.
Yeah. Finally we got her to join Sheer. It's just something that we like totally talked about right before a storm hit and then forgot about, and then years went by, and then I think it was Jenny that brought it up. So Jenny's
things
pretty
get
much
really busy during chasing, and it just like
and when you have like goldfish memory, and then there's two of you with goldfish memory, it's just not good. So I guess we'll go through everybody, and then so that's Carmen. She's here now, and then we got Jenny, who all you Saskatchewan people know Jenny, but Alberta, meet Jenny. She says she's coming over here this year a couple times. You know?
I'm the border hopper,
We'll
right on the border.
Yeah.
And I like to hop back and forth. I try to join you Albertans every once in a while.
She's the reason we're all well. That's a good place, Coast. She's the reason this is all happening, and it's nice to hear that's not from a judge from small claims court. But it's 80% of the reason the name is Lost in the Storm is because she's got lost in Saskatchewan. I almost mispronounced Saskatchewan.
Oh no!
Saskatchewan. But
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Jay, tell us your story.
I'm lost here. My story.
Yeah.
I guess my story started, well, actually just about getting lost in the storm. I took a ride inside a tent during a plow wind when I was about 7 years old. It picked me up and it threw me against the fence, and I was like pinned in there. And I finally scrambled out, and there's these trees and trampolines flying all around. And I'm just going, oh, this is the best thing ever. And Then lightning hit the school and started the school on fire. And I'm like, now this is really the best thing ever. So they're trying to drag me inside and I didn't want to go. So that kind of just piqued my interest in storms. And then when I was 16, I was driving out and watching these storms. And eventually I just kind of learned the movement. And then in my 20s, I decided to actually get into the forecast and chasing.
That's crazy. Because honestly, if lightning hit anywhere near me, I just hide forever.
Everybody else is hitting the ground and I'm like,
Lightning scares me so much.
Take me now.
That's weird. Well, that's how you become like a thunder god. That's what you're going for.
Exactly. Those plow-ins are epic, Robert. I've actually seen way more damage and stuff from plow-ins in Saskatchewan than I have from tornadoes. They're just crazy, widespread wind events. Love them.
Yeah, on that note, was it last year or 2 years ago that we had those crazy plow-ins that came through Red Deer? And absolutely everybody was convinced that there was tornadic activity and there was a tornado and something touched down. And we were trying so hard to convince the community, it was plow winds and they're just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, because it covers such a large area. And to take those warnings seriously when it comes out, that if you see plow winds coming, buckle down.
I think it was 2 years ago because Eston, which is just about a half an hour east of me, that was what they were hit was with a plow wind. And it actually was strong enough to strip buildings right off their foundations. Wow. It threw 2x4s from one person's roof right through the wall of a house of another. So those have just as much damage in them as tornadoes do. So definitely have to take those seriously. You do not want to be caught outside in that.
There's our PSA for the evening.
Don't be in wind. And then,
hey, it's how we get this epic storm hair, though. We're going to make this storm hair thing a thing this season. Now that we got some more girls on the team, it's just going to be whoosh.
That's true. I think, is it me, Mike, and Mike? So if we're running, well, it's hard to say now. We're running equal genders for now. So yeah, it's I saw somebody said that they bought their first anemometer when they were 6. That's when I was 6. I didn't even know that storm chasing was a thing. I got started because of Twister. I was however old I was in 1996. I think that's when it came out. So I was 12 or 13, and my mom bought me a little red Dodge Ram, exactly like Bill's truck, and I drove that into imaginary twisters. And then Storm Chasers I watched, and that got me into it. And once I got into Storm Chasers, I'm like, what is Alberta Storm Chasers? And I found this group of 400 people. And I'm like, oh, it's a thing. And now it's a group of 27,000, and it's a big thing. So, yeah, Twister, honestly, Twister is the bomb, because if you're riding with any Storm Chaser and you haven't seen Twister, you ain't getting 80% of the references.
And there's just no point in asking us what our favorite movie is as Storm Chasers.
That's true. Me and Carmen found, what was it, Tornado or something that came out the same year, and it was much worse.
Oh, and who did it have in it? Who was
somebody semi-famous.
Oh, trying to remember. Gosh, look it up.
It was really, really not great, but it's on YouTube. The full movie's on YouTube. And I don't know if it's trying to profit off of Twister. And no, it couldn't have, because it was the same year. It was just bad timing to release a tornado movie with barely any tornado effects. That's the thing about Twister, too, is those tornado effects.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, yeah, because he's in everything B-movie.
And yes, Eckert, Millet area is great. I traveled there, I think, 4 times last season out by Wetaskiwin. Love that area. Yeah. Too many trees, though. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, trees are the worst. Trees and hills. That's why Saskatchewan's great.
And we got Brandon on, a fellow weather nut. He's been into meteorology since he was a kid.
I still kind of consider myself a kid. A 37-year-old kid.
I just never grow up. You guys are going to get a chance to see that this season with this Lost in the Storm. the amount of epic fun we have behind the scenes that you guys never see. And you're going to learn that Jenny's a disaster. I'm going to be falling in ditches and getting into the vehicles. You guys haven't seen this before.
You actually you stayed pretty sure-footed during the winter storms. What's that about?
Because you guys didn't see, you should have seen, okay, you know the one where I got out in the 120-kilometer-hour winds.
And your door almost took off?
And my door almost took off. That one made the Weather Channel with Canadian woman sucked from her vehicle in record-breaking blizzard. I had to shut off the video because I tried to get back in and there was so much ice. It was blowing me across. I'm holding on to the bumper of my vehicle and I'm trying to pull myself back. And it took me 10 minutes to close my door. I had the window unrolled and every time I go to do it, the ice was so icy, it would just and I was back out again.
That's crazy.
So these are the kind of things you guys are going to get to see in this Lost in the Storm.
Tracy says hi from Minnedosa. Is it Minnedosa, Manitoba? That's got to be Minnedosa, right? There's no other way to pronounce that?
Yes.
Yeah. Brandon wants to know if we chase outside of Canada. When we are legally allowed.
I'm still crossing my fingers. I got an invite to do a chase workshop down in the US, but that's end of May, kind of end of June. I'm kind of hoping regulations are going to loosen up, but
if they don't, you could do the hologram thing that Tupac did during Coachella.
Oh. Yeah. Can we hologram figure this out, Chris?
We can, but I also think it drove that production company into bankruptcy, so anyone want to fund that?
Start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So I see Tracy popped on here, and we had a question from her earlier on Twitter. So maybe we can answer some of that. Some safety tips to get photos from a distance. Well, distance is key.
Tips. Yeah. Distance is good for photogenic supercells, so that's good.
Yes, you can't get good pictures when you're up and close because once you get into that kind of bear's cage area, you're battling the rain, you're battling the wind, you're battling the hail, and
you're thinking, how stupid are you for having a freaking glass roof on a car?
Chris has got a big sunroof, so he really tries to stay out of the hail.
I've been trying to figure out how to fix that.
I'm convinced, Chris, that you did that on purpose so that I would drive all year.
No.
So my tip is actually, a lot of it is lightning safety because that is one of the biggest dangers that we face out in the field while we're chasing storms. After doing this for so long, we're pretty well trained on how storms move, what directions they're moving, where they're going, where the bad zones are. But lightning, we can't predict. So my tip is set it up on a tripod and sit in the vehicle. I run mine by a remote shutter from my phone because I've had some crazy close ones where you can smell like that sulfur burn and like the whole air is electrified. It's crazy.
There's the two biggest concerns I have chasing are not tornadoes, it's lightning, which when I stop, I always leave my doors open. One, so I don't actually lock myself out of my car, but two, so I could just like barrel roll back into the car if I had to with my...
Which he's done, and it's hilarious.
Hey, it's a safety thing. The second thing that people don't think about, they do now because I say it so much and people do, is car accidents. So much car accidents, like... People, with us being like seasoned storm chasers, I can call myself seasoned now because we've been doing it for like 12 years, but we kind of know that there's a storm out there and we also have to pay attention to the road. But new guy who just got in there and sees like a funnel cloud coming down, he isn't looking at the road anymore. He's looking at that funnel. So,
and that's, I guess, the other thing. If you're looking to get into chasing, as Carmen did, you know, she popped on to like the Alberta Storm Chasers. We also got a Saskatchewan one. And connect with people that have been in the field for a while and learn the ropes before you try and get out there yourself. I see people when I'm out chasing myself that are just kind of out for a joyride, wants to see the storm, and they end up putting themselves in some very bad positions because they don't know what they're driving into. And you could be driving into a rain-wracked tornado and not even know it.
That's the one thing that Into the Storm got that Twister didn't get, was the Twister hunters. that now every time we do something completely stupid, back-ass words, we call each other twister hunters, and it's in the worst slang ever. We're gonna chase it on our ride-on lawnmower. It'll be fine. But yeah, that's something.
And then Tracy had another question.
Ooh,
Might as well
questions.
grab that one.
Okay.
The settings we usually start with to photograph these storms. So settings for your camera is going to kind of depend on the time of day you're chasing, the lighting you're getting,
Or not getting.
We always kind of hope it's not nighttime tornadoes because you really can't see anything. Generally, I keep my ISO at 100. Try not to get it grainy. Shutter speed about 125, and usually around f.6 is my starting point. But that varies depending on the time of day.
Yeah, and also, like, especially for shutter speed, it all depends. Like, I had this huge shelf cloud that I just couldn't find the right f-stop for it. So I just, I did the thing that no one will ever admit to. Auto. Yeah.
And sometimes you have to when you're out chasing because your lighting is changing so quickly. And especially with these like linear storms, like there was a few last year I chased that were moving at 115, 120 kilometers an hour. And so you're rushing to try and stay ahead of that.
Yeah. And there's also the thing, you bring your tripod out and you realize you're carrying a giant lightning rod. You don't want to mess around with f-stop. You get your DSLR on there and get the heck away from that thing.
Gosh.
So
And
even
on that
I...
note, sorry, on that note, bring sandbags, Chris.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
We've had a few tripods tipped with some very expensive equipment because that wind is just
I cannot
so
believe
fast.
I haven't destroyed a lens yet.
Seriously, they don't fall lens forward, even though they should, right? It's like the storm gods are like, this is going to hurt you, but it's not going to kill you.
Okay, and the third question was the direction the storms travel.
Well, they can travel any direction. Me and Carmen got the best storm because two storms, one was moving southeast and one was moving west, and they hit each other and started rotating. And then we got a tornado warning, and it was one of our best chases, I think. And storms can move any direction. They're most common moving southeast, northeast. I can't even remember. What are storms?
Southeast. They kind of usually, well, here in Saskatchewan, they either move like mainly east or southeast. So it kind of depends.
Most of our storms.
And especially where it's moving up from. Like, are we getting them ones that are moving up from the States? Because we sometimes get that where it moves northeast instead. Or we're getting generally around here, we get all the ones from Alberta. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. And all the ones from Alberta are 80% off the foothills, so it's all rolling off them. They call it foothills magic. It's beautiful. It's not beautiful when you live up in Edmonton and have to drive 3 hours to get into a target area every time, but at least you know where you're going.
Hey, I live out in Saskabush here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little bit farther of a drive.
That's true.
Yeah.
A few questions in chat. Do you think climate change is going to make for some wild weather this summer? That climate change is a tricky thing to talk about. One, because it's, a controversial subject to talk about on the internet. But it's so hard to say what kind of weather we'll do. You'll meet some storm chasers in, let's say, May or April. Biggest season this year. This year is going to be the biggest season. And then, June rolls in and it's going to be a stormy time. July, but it's storm months. This is where they're all going to hit. In August, we're like, well, July sucks, so August. And then September is maybe next year. But this year, big storms.
I'm hopeful because my area had those 3 epic winter storms.
Yeah.
So we got lots of moisture, which we've been lacking in these past few years. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Yeah. Trenton says the biggest thing when I bought my truck was no sunroof. Dealership thought I was crazy. Trenton is a smarter person than I am.
That's what I said when I went and bought mine. I was like, no sunroof and no leather seats. And they were like, well, you can't have both. Pick one. I was like, no sunroof. They're like...
And I got a car just with an entire glass roof. entire
See, we're
glass
gonna
roof.
decorate Chris's car with pool noodles.
I'm
We're gonna call them
actually-
storm noodles.
I think I'm doing that. I honestly have looked into it. I'm going to duct tape the front to prevent the wind, ratchet strap the yoga mats onto top. It's all going to be black, so it'll be, sleek. But it's going to protect my sunroof. I remember I was chasing with David from Calgary, and we drove into pea-sized hail, maybe smaller than, like, really hard water. And it sounded like the Black Death on my roof. And
Really hard water.
Really hard water. But
Yes, Trina, cow. I have got a stuffed cow that's like this big that a friend made for me, and it's going to be my chase partner this year.
Ooh.
It's called Lost Cow.
So everything's going to have Lost in it. That's going to be
It's my thing.
It is your thing. Well, we've stole some of your thing. We're sorry for stealing your thing.
It's more fun with friends.
Yeah, it's true. Even friends you have to make.
It's my only friends, my online ones.
Tracy says,
you
makes sense. I think I'd use autofocus. Autofocus, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, we want to be creative. We want to, get the right, footage, but we also don't want to get cord because we're messing with our f-stop and our ISO either. So
Sometimes, though, the autofocus, like if you get rain on your lens, really messes up. But that's a bonus, because what most of you guys don't know is I take my minivan often chasing, because I could just fire open the sliding doors and set my tripod right up in there, so it doesn't matter if it's raining.
honestly, and my wife loses it on me. I'm like, I want a minivan for that complete reason. Like, the things you could do. In my head, I got like Jonas's setup in that van. You walk in and there's just like 8 computers and a little Doppler on the roof. But in actuality, I'll have my laptop that's half broken.
Nobody listens to the soccer mom trying to stop them from driving into the store. When I'm on the side of the highway and trying to flag them down, it's like, who's this crazy lady in a minivan? And then 10 minutes later, they're ripping back past me. I'm like, I tried.
My wife just started commenting.
There she is.
Hi, Andrew.
I just want a minivan.
For her, not for us.
Maybe she thought if we got this glass sunroof car that I'd stop chasing and spending all our money. It doesn't work. I have Carmen.
I'm sorry, Andrea. I'm an enabler.
So our next thing is, what is Lost in the Storm? What are we going to be doing? And why are you guys drinking so much water? I want to be part of it.
You think I drink water?
It's clear, but that's all you know.
This is coffee.
I was hoping it wasn't vodka. I'm like, now we're having a Lost in the Storm intervention.
Hey, my friends enabled me. I got this like giant shipment of coffee today.
Guys, did you post that on your various social media things?
Haven't yet. You should have seen my excited grin when my coffee showed up. Like 6 bags of coffee. It is so good. It's so good.
So good.
I really need a coffee sponsorship for my addiction.
Ryan says she does not drink water, LOL. I didn't use to.
Ryan, you know it.
So, Lost in the Storm is going to have many different facets. It's going to be kind of like a behind the scenes of what we do at Sheer. So, Jenny's got her plans, which are incredible, and then you talk about your plans, because my plans are much more simpler.
My plans? Yeah. Okay. Jenny doesn't really make plans overly, but I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. But I really wanted to give everybody a different view of what it's like chasing. So often you just only see the epic storms, but there's so much more to it. So you guys get to see behind the scenes, right to us forecasting, piggering.
Piggering is a technical storm term.
Figuring out where our targets are for the day. The sit and wait, coffee. Because I drink copious amounts of coffee and I make fun of my chase partners, and I'm dancing out in the field taking pictures of barns. And so you guys are going to get a view of what that's like. And you're going to have so much more sympathy for Mike.
Yeah, that's true. Mike, we put him through so much. We don't apologize. But yeah, it's going to be so interesting. With me, my focus for the last 2 years has been kind of on streaming, and I want to take that hardcore this year. I finally got a job where I can pretty much chase whenever and then go, make money when I spend all my money chasing. And basically, we're going to do our live streams like we always did, but there's going to be some behind the scenes. There's going to be some setup. There's going to be... Oh, no, me and Carmen will invent some drama or something. It'll be fine. The guitar fight or something.
How excited do I need to be, Chris? How excited am I normally?
Well, it's like a 10 out of 10 normally.
Apparently they can tell how much coffee I drink because of my excitement.
Yeah.
But when it comes to storms, that is me. That is my personality. I'm a big goofball, excited. You can tell that from my videos. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. The other day we got our first thunderstorm, and I hopped up and I did my little happy butt wiggle dance because it was the first crack of thunder, and so that's just me in general.
Yeah, that's good. Coffee just enhances the situation. What do we got here? And then there's one for Radar in Canada. And how good is the cell phone internet service? I'm going to talk from Alberta first because our cell phone plans have gotten so much better in Alberta over the last couple of years. We're no Saskatchewan with these unlimited plans because screw you, Saskatchewan. I love you, Saskatchewan. You're half our fan base. But Alberta's gotten really good. TELUS has great coverage. If you don't want to leave the city, you get which one was I on? Bell? I don't want to.
You're on Rogers. I'm on
Rogers.
Bell.
Yeah. Rogers, you step out of the city at all, you drop signal. TELUS, we were streaming far into the field, so it was pretty good. Radar in Canada, anybody not going to say radar scope?
I know, it's like, radar scope.
Radar scope.
It's pretty much the only thing.
Is down. We have an an Alberta agriculture radar that's not too terrible bad. I don't remember the web link for it right now, but they've got one on their ag website for the farmers, and that one's really good. But other than that, radar scope. Yeah,
there's the Cedars radar from Olds, I think, is where the radar is, and that's always good in storm season. We're not going to talk about Cedars at all because I don't want to get into that. But also, everyone's like, well, what about Environment Canada, since they're the ones who actually have the radar and stuff like that? It's not user-friendly like Radar Scope is. You can't follow it, and I heard it's gotten worse. And I don't want to talk about that either because it has gotten not user-friendly.
And it's a lot lower resolution, and there's some aspects that you pay for on Radar Scope if you'd like to, that are very useful in the field, especially when we're chasing right down south by the U.S. border. Yeah,
and plus Radar Scope ties in with that other site that the dots. What site is the dots? This is embarrassing. Do none of us remember the dots?
I know the dots.
Can I just make you sweat for a little bit?
A little. We can tell Jenny's Googling it.
I know.
I'm going to think
I'm just asking. Okay. The Spotter Network.
Spotter Network. God. Yeah. So the Spotter Network.
I'm just pulling up the next questions from Twitter, so shush it.
The Spotter Network, if you're a chaser, definitely get on there. I think there's still they do a test before they let you on. It's a basic weather knowledge test. It's great that they do that. And once you're on there, you get your dot. Don't dot chase. So, yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get a whole bunch of Spotter Networks. Yeah. So, we're going to be doing web series videos, short videos. We're going to be doing the live stream. We're going to be doing the behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll have, depending on COVID and everything, some get-togethers and some meetups with our fans. Plus the team will meet up. We'll do some behind the scenes. Everything that you want to see behind the scenes, we're going to do. We're going to be setting up a Patreon. The Patreon is going to be 100% to only fund our chasing. Nothing else. We're not all going to go out and buy steak, which we technically can't now anyway. So if we get a tornado or something, we just gather outside of Boston Pizza and look in the windows and be like,
I'm going to just have to start bringing my little barbecue with me and some
We'll
steaks.
just keep a cow in the back and things happen. Things happen. But yeah, so once we do launch that Patreon, it's going to be completely going back into our chasing and enhancing what we can do for you guys. Maybe better equipment, maybe something neater. Something I'm going to be, I want to get a little bit more weather measurement devices on my car. So just to let you guys know, it's one thing for Environment Canada to say, oh, the wind speeds are 90 kilometers an hour. And when I'm like, the wind speeds are 110 and my anemometer flew off into the storm. So, so I'm going to need another one of those. But magnets, that's
I was just like, use your finger.
Yeah, that's true. And
yes,
windy.
And yes, Bonnie, Sunday is going to be fun. Can we just be done with snow?
Like, seriously.
Like, can we just be done with it?
Because
she has wood and fire tools, though, and food.
Ooh.
Which we all, and she will travel. So
we just.
If anybody knows Jenny, coffee is like first important, second important is food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit to speak towards COVID too. We are 100% going to be following every COVID restriction, not just for government regulation, but to keep ourselves safe. So when Carmen and I are chasing, we're gonna be fully masked up. We're gonna use so much sanitizer and disinfectant. It's gonna be gross. Our stops are gonna be only necessities, chaser necessities. So yes, coffee we need, and beef jerky I need, but everything's going to be pretty much like minimal human contact until we can get this stupid pandemic out of the way so we can chase again properly. But this year we're going hard. I ruined my season last year. Last year I just was paralyzed, didn't go out. So this year we're coming back strong. And masks.
And masks.
But there's really cool storm masks that they're making now. Stephanie has this radar, it's like a hook echo on her mask, and
I want one of those.
Yeah. I was either gonna see if I could buy one or just like sneak on down and while Stephanie's doing vet surgery, steal hers or whatever. But
there's a bonus of chasing in Saskatchewan though, because I'm the only Saskatchewan member of the shear team. So I'm by myself, and for a change, because I work healthcare, I don't have to wear a mask for the day.
Yeah, that's true.
In my own vehicle.
That's true.
So I quite enjoy just being able to breathe.
Like at work I'm fully masked too, and I do EMS dispatch, and trying to talk to people who can't hear to start with. The funny thing is a word that no one picks up on is cough. So I'm like, are you having troubles coughing? And then they're like, what? I'm like, coughing. And they're like, what? I'm like, and then everyone laughs at me. Everyone laughs at me. And then someone in the back, because comedy's a thing, is like, he has COVID. And then it's an hour of that. And Bonnie says we need to get the duck masks. That's true. Tracy says, she saw her name and she's like, oh, let's talk about me. Tracy says, you do such good videos about snowstorms too. The snowstorm videos are amazing. Let's all make Jenny feel super uncomfortable, because holy crap, they're so good. Yeah. And it was one thing, I was driving home at like 4:30 in the morning or something, and I'm getting messages from Jenny, but like, I'm heading out. I'm like, if I wasn't at work, I'd be asleep. And she's like, I don't care. And then she was out the whole day and brought back some of the most amazing storm footage from the winter.
Yeah. I put the video out though, so we can't have any more epic snowstorms, because then I gotta redo the video.
Oh, that is true. We'll have epilogue.
So no more record-breaking snowstorms this season.
People would watch Twister 2. People will watch Snowstorm 2.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if my getting sucked out of the vehicle is gonna make it on some blockbuster hit someday.
Yeah, it could.
like the Sharknado version of snowstorms.
Tracy asked if everyone's heading out to capture the auroras tonight. I don't really do aurora photography, but that is something that we'll probably have on Lost in the Storm too. Is a bunch of aurora. Oh, we could have some sweet night videos for aurora too.
Well, I just got a nice little GoPro Hero 9 that I'd love to test out. I know Shannon was telling me she had hers fired up for the aurora, and it did a really good job. So I was thinking of maybe heading out tonight and testing out the equipment, because I got all this new equipment I need to play with.
Sweet. All right. So in closing, because I think we said a half an hour and it's probably more than that, where you can follow Lost in the Storm, the majority.
We had a few questions that I
Oh,
didn't answer yet.
we'll get to the questions right at the end. We'll leave on the
Okay.
questions. So the places you can follow us is primarily the Facebook Sheer WX page, the YouTube page, which is almost brand new and reworked. So we're building everything into the storm, or Lost. Did I say into the storm? It doesn't matter. Lost in the Storm. Everything Lost in the Storm is going on YouTube in some way. So I'll be streaming to the Facebook page. We're going to crop that, throw it onto YouTube. Everything's going onto YouTube. The Patreon will be out in a couple weeks, maybe less, once I start figuring out exactly how we're going to do that. And then, I think that's all of our stuff. Jenny has 84 social media accounts, but she's huge on TikTok. Follow her on TikTok. Sheer has a TikTok. We have, I think, 9 followers. Jenny has the western half of the continent, and we have an Instagram and Twitter. We tweet her a lot. But my
I like Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's always good, and Twitter's good for getting storm warnings out and everything.
I think Shannon's ears were burning because she popped on just as I was talking about
Oh,
it.
really? That happened with my wife. How does it... Zuckerberg isn't listening. Everyone else is listening.
Okay, so I guess the other questions. If you can change one aspect of chasing, what would it be?
I wish Mike would stop yelling at me. Is that...
For Saskatchewan,
Ooh,
I would
got a good one.
change
I got a
our
good
road networks where maybe we could just have pavement
No, that's true.
instead of like chunks of pavement here and there.
I don't want to shame
Just
Saskatchewan. I don't. I love you, Saskatchewan. But as soon as we chased in Saskatchewan a couple years ago, we saw a red flag on the side of the road. And I'm like, whatever. And I just about lost a wheel. So much of it, we were all over the road just avoiding these red flags, which were everywhere. There was a time we were driving in the ditch because the ditch was better than the road. And,
I remember taking a guy from Alberta out on a chase in southern Saskatchewan, and the road went from pavement to gravel. He was like, "Oh my God, that is so dangerous." And I said, "No, that just means the road's good. Drive faster."
yeah, that's the best road in Saskatchewan.
You're not going to sink your car in a pothole. It's perfect.
That's true. We just come out the other end. There was a road maybe washed out ahead or watched for water, and you get there and it's not a road, it's a lake, and there's no road at all. And then you're sitting there. I was in my Santa Fe at the time, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I can't make it across this road. And this chick in a Honda Civic comes by and gives me the finger because I was sitting there. And I'm like, what the hell? She drove through the entire water, came at me. I'm like, Saskatchewan, you guys are wonderful. But that's the roads, not the people. I ended up in Leader, Saskatchewan a lot. Is it Leader?
Oh,
That's
shout out
that
to
right?
Leader. I heart Leader.
Yeah. It's how we ended a lot of our chases at Leader. And oh man, it was always the most beautiful thing. You get Tim Hortons, then the lightning would always be there. I don't know why.
I think Kindersley, because Leader doesn't have
What?
Tim Hortons.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Was it Tim Hortons? Where the hell did I go? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot in Leader.
Who doesn't have a Tim
Leader's
Hortons?
small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was like maybe it was. I don't know where I ended up. I ended
Well,
up at Tim
Etonia
Hortons.
doesn't have a Tim Hortons.
We'll get on that.
Was it Oyen? It was Oyen.
Oyen.
wasn't it?
Oyen.
Oh, yeah.
We always end up in Oyen. Every time.
Always.
I don't know what is with Oyen. It's a
Like-
hotbed.
Like little black hole that just, that's where.
Now you guys just need to go a little bit further east though, because I don't know if you guys know, there's the old army base at Alsace, right on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, and it's still got their big radar dome there.
Really? Okay, we're
And
going
you guys
out there.
haven't been there yet, and it's only like 15 more minutes.
Okay, there's
How
two
have we
things-
missed that?
there's
We've
two
driven in
things-
and around Oyen.
There's two things we need to do. We need to get a picture. We should get a picture of every Doppler in Alberta and Saskatchewan. That'd be cool, especially the next rad stuff. That'd be cool. And radar domes. Ryan says definitely no Timmy's and Leader. So our second thing is we have to get a Timmy's and Leader.
How do we get this done?
I don't know. I assume a hashtag will work. Hashtag Timmy's a leader needs a
He's a
Timmy's.
leader.
Yeah. Be a leader, Timmy's. That'll be a good mission, trying to get a picture of Radar Dome. I remember I tried to get Carvel's once and I got eaten by all the bugs. But I went out there.
You want to know the bonus of this one? It's like right off the highway.
Really? You don't have to search for it? Because like you would think...
You drive right by it, and the grid road is really good. And you only have to drive like 500 meters, and you're right in front of the radar.
Shannon says Manitoba too. Here's the thing. This is the first year that I'm going to have a lot of free time. I think we'll try and make some Manitoba chases.
See, the thing about Manitoba...
Uh-oh. The words expressed are not that of sheer WX.
Manitoba can be absolutely epic. When it produces big. But the amount of blue sky busts. And I remember chasing the Tilston, Manitoba tornado. And cell phone coverage was awful. Like, it was big cheers when any of us could get a tweet out with the hashtag Manitoba storm because we couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Really?
It was just that bad a cell service. Horrid.
Now Bonnie says...
But I love Manitoba.
To be clear, Bonnie says this. Good thing about Sask is you can stand on top of your vehicle and you can pick which place has Timmy's just by looking.
That!
What was it? Saskatchewan's the only place where you can watch your dog run away for 10 kilometers or something?
And Shannon's so true. There's so much you can do on a blue sky bust.
Yeah.
You know, there's days it completely busts, but I love exploring.
Yeah.
And for Saskatchewan, like, farmers don't throw anything away or knock anything down here for wonderful reasons. So I got all these things I can go see.
See, that's good. The optimism. Like everyone, there's a lot of chasers, especially in the States, that call it a bust if they don't see a tornado. But honestly, 100% honestly, I barely see tornadoes. But it's the structure from the supercells that if there's a supercell, it ain't a bust. And if there's storm structure, it's not a bust. Tornadoes do not equal storm chase, especially up here when like we average 13 of them per province.
I think my best random one would have been Nanton last year.
Nanton. And that sounds like a place where a tornado would hit.
we stopped and we got like those cinnamon buns from Roy's place. He gave us like these, like, I mean, they're the size of your head. So storms weren't forecast to fire for a while. We parked off on the side road to dig into our cinnamon buns and look at models. I take my first bite and I look up and a tornado literally dropped right in front of us.
I'm out driving for 87 hours trying to find the tornado. Jenny's just watching it.
And it just drops.
Yeah. Oh, there's one.
Next question.
There was a second part of a question we didn't answer.
Oh, there is.
Way back in the day, it was best time to chase, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And we never answered it because I know the answer is there's not really a best time to chase. Daytime heating will cause storms to fire, especially with all sorts of triggers. So it like the afternoon and evening is usually the best. But there's times where we need to be up at 6 a.m. and storms can fire super early. So you got to know your models, got to know what trigger is going to trigger your stuff. If it's daytime heating, it's not going to happen at 10 a.m. So,
and sometimes you're sitting there forever because like storms obviously forecast fire say around 3 o'clock and it's like 7 o'clock. That's when storms decide to fire instead. So you can't give up too early either.
No, never give up too early. Oh, that is,
or you will cry.
I made that mistake once. Actually, it was hilarious. It was Oyen. It was freaking Oyen. So I'm going towards Oyen and I call the chase. And it's like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I got a 4-hour drive back. And then I see Chris Ratzlaff's Mini fly by. Then I see Beth Allen's gigantic, awesome freaking Sequoia or something. I don't know. It fly by. And then all of a sudden, all these chasers fly by. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye, guys. And I go home, and they went and caught a tornado by Drayton Valley. So I'm never giving up chasing again. I get home at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. I love those night drives now. As long as you can stay awake.
That's where our chase husbands and wives, we call them, our partners, because we can
scream into each other's ears.
Well, I never shut up. I keep Mike awake, but We can also switch off driving if we're really exhausted, because there's some chase trips where it's 36 hours straight for me.
Oh yeah.
Ryan says nighttime is the most dangerous. Absolutely. I stop chasing when it gets too dark to photograph anything. And once I can't see, it's over. But the nice thing is usually we get the lightning storm on the way back, right? So the lightning storm.
You remember that one? Was that it Oyen, Chris? And we had that like, it was a bit of a bust. We didn't really catch a lot of structure that one time. But the lightning was like every second there was another shot of lightning. It was a huge light show. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
We stopped at like a giant truck stop or a Petro Pass or something, right? Yeah. I can't remember where that was, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Somewhere on the way to Oyen.
Yeah. Okay, Jenny, I think I caught up on my questions. What do you got?
So when did you know in your bones that you had to chase?
Oh, who wants to go first?
I can go first. For me, I grew up on the east side of Saskatchewan, and I moved out to this area, I think it was around grade 8. And I moved out here, and every night that summer, there was tornado warnings. And I would get so excited every time that warning would go off, and I'd be out on the outskirts of town. So I think that's the moment I knew this is what I'm going to, like, I'll chase storms.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Carmen was inspired 100% by me, so that's her answer.
That's hilarious. No, actually, my first tornado I saw wasn't when I was a chaser. It was, oh gosh, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And I was out in Bashaw, of all places, camping. And some of the guys we were camping with were like, hey, come check this out. There's this big storm over the hill. And so we all, piled up and went up on top of this hill and saw, and we all watched a pinner. It was just a small little pinner just drop out of the sky, and it touched down. And I was like, we need to get closer. And they were like, are you nuts? I was like, no, let's go. Let's get in the car. Let's go. And they're like, no. We're going to go pack up and leave. Because they got pretty frightened. And obviously, yeah. And then I had gone to the work the next day, and there was a couple of people I worked with from Bashaw. And I said, did you guys see that tornado? And they were like, what tornado? And I was like, we got little tiny crappy flip phone, pictures of it or whatever. But it was like, I need to see more of that. And people need to know it's happening. I was blown away that there was a tornado that touched down in Alberta and not a single human being knew about it except for me and my friends. So, it's kind of like a drive there that I need to get closer. And also we need to educate the public to let them know that this stuff does happen. And you got to educate the public too.
Yeah, I tell you, last year or 2 years ago, when did we do that presentation? We did a presentation for a bunch of kids. I did 3. Oh Lord, really? So I've done 3 now, and oh man, it's so it was the most fun I ever had, is telling these kids about storms and then showing them the picture of the Dominator. Like, is that what you chase in? And I'm like, no, I chase in something completely stupider.
It's got a glass roof.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what that is. It'll literally flip for no reason. But my story, it sort of started in 1987 when I was 4, and there's a dog outside my freaking window. Hold on. Ow!
Oh, there's Ghost Chris. But most of us don't actually chase in these like monster vehicles. We chase in regular vehicles.
Yeah, or
99% of us, don't have the giant tanks.
Yeah, 99%. That's a good number. But yeah, so in 87, in 87 there was the F4 tornado that hit Edmonton, and my grandfather was a captain at the fire department at the time, and he ended up actually chasing the tornado in a fire truck just to get to the damaged area, and he ended up terrible stories that he told me and stuff after I told him about I wanted to be a storm chaser. But it inspired me. He was technically the first storm chaser in my family. He just, was getting paid to do it. We do not get paid. But then it was, again, storm chasers. I went to ASC, and I'll tell you, the people that got me chasing. I just wanted to be a fanboy. I wanted to be an ASC fanboy. Like, go get them, chasers! You're the heroes. You know, I just wanted to find our, you know, Canadian Reed Timmer or Canadian, you know, Bill Harding is his last name. If anyone's curious, it's so weird that Bill and Joe still had the same last name just because they weren't divorced, and Bill was already getting married to Melissa. And if none of you realize I'm talking about Twister, I don't know what to tell you, but.
And there it is.
I may have lost my train of thought. Oh, right. I got it. There's a huge name in the community, Beth Allen. She was supportive right off the hop. There was two other very, very supportive people that are also EC meteorologists that I won't name just because I don't want to out them, but they have done so much for me, not only 12 years ago when I started, but last year, the year before. They've been there. They've answered my stupid questions I should know by now. They've done so much, and it sucks that I could tell you the names and make it so much worse, but it sucks I can't say their names, but those three people alone just changed my life, made me a storm chaser, and now it's the second most proud thing that I get to be, because it took me a long time to get in the EMS dispatch, but storm chasing is what defines me now. So, and it was all thanks to them, but I have no money to give them because I'm spending it all on storm chasing.
There is some epic people in the storm chase community. Yeah. I love my storm peeps. I can't wait to see them. I miss them all.
It's true. And there's so many. There's a lot of teams out there. Just some of the most amazing people on these teams. And then you get the people that are just like these backwoods chasers you'd never see anywhere else. And they're just, you never know who it is either. Sometimes you pass people and they wave and you wave back and you both know you're chasing, but you don't know who they are.
I know, we rubberneck each other. Like, who is that? Yeah. But it's like, oh, friends.
Yeah.
That's why we would like when you guys come visit us at the gas station parking lot.
It is true. I got my ASC sticker. I'm going to get a sheer logo. If you see me out, come talk to me. I love talking storms, and, you know, maybe I'll have some stickers. We're going to get some stickers.
And Bonnie, Chris is like the squirrel captain.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of right. Hey, I got back to where I needed to go.
And Brandon, my favorite drink is, we got coffee, and then the second one is margaritas.
Oh.
I love margaritas. That's my post-chase one.
What's your favorite chase drink?
Chris, yours is that blue Gatorade crap.
Oh, hey.
What is
hey
that
now.
drink?
That is Mountain Dew Volt.
I don't know how you put that in your system.
Oh, it is. That amps up my live streams.
What's your post-chase drink?
Water.
More Mountain Dew Volt. And someone commenting from our Sheer WX Severe Weather Chasers account says, you haven't talked about Mike enough. Now, I'm not worried because it's labeled not Mike.
Not Mike.
So
that's because he didn't tune in earlier when I was trying to tell people that they have to have a lot of sympathy for him because he's got to chase with me. And how I'm going to show everybody the epic retardedness or goofiness.
Saved.
that happens behind the scenes.
See, oh, man. See, Mike is great. We love Mike, right?
Yeah, 10 points to Mike. And
Mike does a lot of cool stuff.
And he drinks the disgusting Red Bull. Okay, that's his chase drink. It is awful.
What is with you guys and your chase drinks?
I tried it while we were on this mountain trip that we took, and it is awful. Just because I didn't have coffee, I needed some caffeine, but it's gross.
Wow. Honestly, oh man, our team is amazing. Like, the sucky thing is there's a few that I still haven't gotten a chase with, and I've been on this team for 77 years, I think, 78 coming up on, and it's just because a lot of them are in the Olds area, and they're in chase territory, whereas by the time I get down there, they're already like, oh yeah, there's 4 tornadoes, we'll leave one for you.
Well, do you guys remember our French interview? And then the chase, we finally got together right after that.
Oh man, that's great.
We didn't quite make it to Oyen like we had planned, but
that was funny. Wasn't that the one where we had to call and you ask Andrea permission to take the car?
Yes, that was the one.
I don't remember
I
The
that.
have
last
the
minute
video of
random
that.
chase trip.
I have the video of that. I'm gonna dig it up. And
I had to
publish
ask
it.
Andrew for the
It's
card.
Hilarious.
You did.
Huh.
I think we were in McDonald's when that happened.
Well, yeah, I don't think we knew exactly what we were getting into with that interview. And technically, we still have no idea because it was all in French. Chasseur de la... And it wasn't tornades, it was something else. Petit déjeuner. I don't know. I'm sorry, everybody. I live in Beaumont. I'm going to get attacked. Like... Oh.
You were in Wetaskiwin, Bonnie. Like, I was there 4 times last season. Chasing up there. I was up there lots.
Wetaskiwin's a good place.
Hey, there's Brandon.
Oh,
Hi, Brandon.
And Brandon said earlier we missed it as it was going. He says this season is going to be epic.
Oh, well, if Brandon says it, then good.
It's got to be true.
Yeah.
Brandon is another one of our like favorite weather peeps.
Yeah.
He's awesome. If you haven't checked him out, check him out.
He's everywhere. He's a Doppler boy. Yeah, and I need some Doppler boy swag. And I think it's important.
I have a Doppler Boy t-shirt. I can't wait to wear it on my first chase this year.
I think it's important to know that we need a sponsorship with Timmy's, Doppler Boy, and Red Bull for Mike. We got you, Mike. Some Mountain Dew. Oh, and also
beef jerky.
I didn't plan this, but I got my Lost in Saskatchewan shirt there. Yeah. So do I get money for that? Like, how's this work?
I'm broke.
Yeah.
I put all my money into the new show.
Yeah. And Brandon has a whole bunch of stickers. This is going to work out great. Look, we just need everything handed to us. That's
I don't know. Like, are we going to get in trouble because we've got, let's see, sheer stickers. We've got Lost in the Storm stickers. We're going to have Doppler stickers. And we're going to be in my creepy minivan.
Well, they don't say free candy.
Handing out stickers to children? Is this going to work?
Only until the court order says we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
Brandon,
these are the random silly jokes that happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, jokes. Your Honor, you see what happened was this. We're a funny people. Yeah, well,
I don't know. I'm hilarious. I keep trying to tell my family that.
Yeah, I am the biggest fan of myself.
Ice cream truck music. I'm gonna put that on my phone while I'm handing out stickers.
This is not a good idea.
Those kids are gonna be super mad when they show up and all they're getting is stickers and no ice cream.
I'll be mad, actually. I'll forget every time.
Every time it fires up, Chris is gonna be like, "Ooh, ice cream!"
Yeah, we need more ice cream. Never take ice cream storm chasing. You'll forget about the ice cream until you realize you forgot about the ice cream, and then it's more like hot milk.
Oh,
yeah. It happens to me all the time. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever
leave
seen
ice cream in my car this year.
It
right.
separates, so it's got like ice cream and like oil.
Brandon says give them a hail ball snow cone. Brandon Berg does.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. We should have a sheer snow cone maker. We have a tornado machine that still runs.
I have a snow cone maker, but I don't have power to power it.
Oh, I've got a power plug-in in my SUV.
Oh, look at that. We're gonna make
just
snow
pop
cones
it in the back, flip up the gate, make some snow cones, chase some tornadoes.
The tornado machine's great because one of its primary things to make it work is a hot plate. And we blew the breaker at ChaserCon. We blew the breaker at Tell Us World of Science. We were just blowing breakers everywhere. It was great.
Tellus doesn't have like a good enough system to
No, I
run
think
that.
they have a great system. I think Carmen's like backwoods Getty's like scary like hot plate.
I got a good one.
Yes, we are way off topic now.
I forgot what our topic was.
It was Brandon. He says my job
It was
is
his
done.
fault.
You can't do this to us. What, you got more questions?
Okay. Yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
There are some great videos and photos of storms.
I believe it.
Without using visuals, what are storms to you? So what do storms mean to you?
Is this like a deep introspective question?
I guess so. I don't know.
Storms are the world if I was a baby duck And if the baby duck looked up to the sky and saw this board out there and quack.
So, quack. For me, as soon as I get it. Okay, I work a lot. Like I work in healthcare, home care, and then I also run my own business. So for me, storms is actually it acts as a de-stressor to me. So I go out and it's like quiet country road, the rumble of thunder. To me, I find that calming. It's kind of my happy place.
I was going to say the same thing. It's very cathartic and sort of meditative, watching the process happen, like watching nature literally, pardon the cliche, take its course, and not knowing what exactly is going to happen. And I think that's kind of intriguing and pulling, because, you know, in this day and age with all the technology we have, we can predict a lot of stuff about our lives and everything's very structured. To see something happen that you can't really predict, to see where it's going to go and what it's going to do, I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's honestly the way that like the environment works and how it even happens. How clouds happen is amazing. How they start spinning is even more amazing. I think it's this thing called shear. Roll credits. Honestly, storms are 40% of it for me. They're a big 40%, but when I'm out, my anxiety is gone. My most of the time fear is gone, unless we're getting cored or in a field of cows.
Chris.
Yeah, that's what it's like a warning alarm that I start hearing. And
I don't think there's a chaser that hasn't been cored.
Yeah, it's true.
Once we really try to stay out of the core.
Try. Sometimes radar doesn't update, and then when it does, you're like, "Uh-oh, I'm not doing."
Oh,
this
here
right.
I got one for you. First time you got cored. What's the story there?
Oh, mine's a good one. Because mine's a core sort of, and then a downburst, which was scarier than anything I've ever been in. I was in Towfield, and it was like my 4th year chasing, and I started getting hard hail hitting me, and I'm like, holy smoke. So I take cover under a gas station awning thing, because I mean, what's lightning and gas gonna do, right? So I get under there, it hits pretty hard, and then it stops, and everything's kind of clear. So I drive out, and I see this finger come down, and it looked like a tornado. I have pictures of it a long time ago, but it's not rotating. And I'm like, the hell is that? And all of a sudden, just the worst wind ever. I saw an oak tree get ripped out right in front of me. I thought it was a tornado for sure. And it was the scariest moment of my life, like, up until that point. And it was just because I was in the bad spot. I wasn't paying attention to exactly what I was doing. And you can't predict where a downburst is going to happen, but I shouldn't have been anywhere near the core. And that downburst was scary. And then I learned what downbursts were from that. Because it was actually just what I was seeing was scud being forced down, which is why it wasn't rotating. So once you see like a kind of like column of cloud looking like scud not rotating, hold on to your hats. I was chasing in a Hyundai Tiburon at the time too, so that was fun. And yeah, it had a sunroof too.
You.
Yeah.
What about you, Carmen?
I hope it wasn't with me.
Well, I don't want to throw you under the bus, but
crap.
I think I might have to throw you under the bus. Oh gosh, there's been a few times when I've white knuckled on the steering wheel, cord. Sometimes it's my own fault. Sometimes it's the fault of, radar.
Yeah, radar. That's.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I it usually just gets, when I get to a point where it's feels like my windshield is gonna smash, I usually just pull over and cry a little. But I can't really think of anything that I've, knock on wood. Hold on.
Oh, I was waiting for guitar to fall.
Yeah. I haven't really had a really terrible core experience that's worthy of sharing yet.
We had, the hard one was just the tail end of the core is the tornado in Calgary 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we almost got stuck.
In the mud pit.
Yeah, so it was like nickel-sized hail. It was pretty big, and we decided to pull over in a mud pit. I don't know why. It's all a haze now, but
I was just trying to pull over on the side of the road.
We were catching the core is what was happening. That's right. So you just want to make for the bad to stop, and the bad did stop, but we didn't get stuck. We just had to get creative. Ooh, that's good. We don't get stuck. We get creative. T-shirt idea.
Oh, dang. I like that.
Yeah.
That's your years of a tow truck driver experience getting us out of that, because I would have definitely buried us.
Yeah, though that's my most fun is getting unstuck. And if you're moving, you're never stuck. That's the most important thing to know. If you can move at all, you're not stuck. You just have to work at it.
And for those of you who have never been in a big hailstorm in their vehicle, it is literally like somebody's taking a baseball bat. Like, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. It is the loudest.
Scariest.
For me, my first core experience was 2012, I think. A 72-kilometer long shelf cloud. Ooh. So I had just gotten home from the lake. No storms were kind of predicted. A little cell popped up just outside of town. So I'm going to go get a few lightning pictures. Only had about a quarter tank of gas. And, well, it turned into this 72-kilometer massive shelf. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm trying to stay ahead of it. But with a quarter tank of gas, I was like, oh, I'm going to, at this point, try and sneak south and get around this storm. And I get going, and I think I'm clear, and baseball-size hail starts falling from the sky. Ho-ho! And when that hits your vehicle, it is loud. So, yeah, I ripped her around, and I managed to make it to Eston. Finally get some gas, but...
That's good. Yeah, the baseballs are best up. If you guys saw Reed Timmer's latest stream when he got baseballs again on his stupid Subaru, like, holy crap. That guy... I don't know. Did you know that Subaru's a 2018? That floored me. It looks like a 2001 golf ball.
It's been through a lot.
Yeah. If you guys want to see terrible hail damage intentionally got into, just look up Reed Timmer, extreme meteorologist, and watch one of his last videos where his car dies, and he's still chasing in it. But
I try to avoid that.
Yeah.
I don't want to wreck my vehicle.
No, definitely not. It's not hard to avoid the core if you're far enough away, but it's really easy to get stuck into it, especially fast moving storms, stuff like that.
Well, those linear storms, sometimes you can't stay ahead of it. They're going to eventually overrun you. So at that point, car washes.
Yeah,
they work good.
Yeah, that's true.
No underpass or overpasses. Don't park under there, please.
No, it'll protect your windshield, but it'll also could cause an 84 car pile up and kill a bunch of people. So maybe don't do that.
So car washes are good, or under gas station overhead thingy majig, whatever.
Yeah, those usually hold up pretty well. Yeah, Trenton says his first core punch was total by accident. Golf ball hail trees were going down and tornado warning got issued. Midway, me saying, I'm in danger.
Danger?
We try not to say anything during a chase where it's like, oh no, this is not good. Like a lot of streams will be like, this is not good, we gotta get out of here. We don't do that. We're like, this is fine, everything's fine. We calm each other. Both me and Carmen know we're in danger, but we're like, no, this is good, we're fine. And then afterwards,
that's how you know. That's how you know when we're in danger is when I start going, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
And then I say, no, Chris. It's cool, it's fine, it's good. And then afterwards we talk about how we lived.
Yeah. When it goes dead calm on the stream and we are straight faced and going, everything's fine. Look at this. We're cool. That's what it's not cool.
It's not cool. It's not cool. Yeah.
I'm ratting us out.
Yeah, but it's true. And that's the one thing too with Lost in the Storm is we're going to be as honest as we possibly can too, because there is some things that chasers do, ego driven kind of stuff that they won't admit to, that we'll admit to help you guys. Anyone who wants to start out in chasing, you'll hear from all of us chasers, be like, know your storm structure, get in with another chaser, get in their car. We didn't do that. I was out in my own car like an idiot day one. And what we're doing is we're trying to say that is actually the best way to do it without putting yourself in extreme danger. Like if you don't know where to find the Coron radar, don't feel like you don't know enough. Don't feel like you're stupid, and don't feel like you shouldn't ask. That's how we all started, and I'm still asking questions that I'm pretty sure rookies have been asking. And we are here to support everybody. We don't get paid for this. We are here to be a bunch of kind people. It's why we're on a team and why we're not out solo. We love people, and we want more people to be into this hobby or whatever.
And we learn a lot from the storm. Like, you never quit learning. Things always change. You learn new techniques, ways of doing things. So I know for me, the storm community has been amazing. I have learned so much from so many people. And I hope some people can learn a little bit of that knowledge from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's weird when we've become the, like, adults of the group. Like,
I know. Should I really be teaching anybody?
Yeah. Because, like, that's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, guys, no, I'm like a rookie. And then I realized I've been doing this for like 12 years or 14 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, that ain't right.
We're getting old.
Yeah, that's true. Bonnie says, that's me if there's a storm brewing. I'm watching and have gone out on my own. As I said, kudos to you all. Yeah, that's...
my biggest chase mentors.
Ooh,
for me, my biggest one is the Kyle Britton.
Oh, love
Kyle.
Kyle, I got so many mixed feelings on that guy.
He cuts his own hair and it looks amazing.
Okay, his hair
it's just he makes everything easy. Brandon, I love him. Beth Allen, she was super amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys can mention a few of yours. I know I'm missing like tons because there's so many.
I'll talk about Kyle a bit because he did two things for me. One, screw that guy, man. This guy, if you guys don't know Kyle Britton, he's the coolest guy ever. He's literally the coolest guy ever. And every time you ask him something, he's done something cooler. You meet him and he's a storm chaser. He's like, yeah, I'm a storm chaser. I'm like, well, what do you do in the summer? And he's like, oh, I used to, jump out of helicopters and fight fires, but I don't do that anymore. And I'm like, okay, what do you do? He's like, oh, dangle off skyscrapers and clean windows. I'm like, shut the hell up. And then Carmen mentioned his hair, his beautiful hair. We were at a camp out and I'm like, dude, where do you get your haircut? He's like, oh, this thing, I cut it myself. And I'd punch him if I knew it wouldn't hit his perfectly chiseled jaw and I'd fall over. Like, I think he's a robot, personally. But
he's the kindest guy. He goes and gives free hugs in Calgary.
I'm going to tell you a story about Kyle that this is going to get emotional, so everybody just hold on. I was going to quit chasing. I was going to quit chasing about 3 years ago. I was done. I was on my last chase. Done. I wasn't getting the storms I wanted. I just was done. And I run into this Weather Network vehicle because naturally Kyle starts out chasing, gets a little education, gets a lot of education, becomes a super genius, gets on the Weather Network. So that's cool. He's on the Weather Network if you want to check him out, because of course he is. He's in space right now. Kyle is currently on the space station. But so I just I was done. And I run across Kyle as I was going home, and we sat for 30 minutes, and he told me some of the most motivational stuff about how I should stick with it. And so I went out one more time because Kyle's like, go out one more time. And I did. Best chase day ever. I changed my entire life. And just from 30 minutes of talking with Kyle, he did a big thing for me. And like I said, chasing is a big part of who I am now. And I would have lost that if it weren't for Kyle Britton. But now he's in space.
Yeah. The other one is my fellow Saskatchewan pal, Craig Bohm. Because he gets these like epic barn shots, and I'm going to totally kick his butt on barn shots this year. He's another one with a horseshoe. He's another one with a horseshoe up his butt, and he won't share it.
Yeah, that's just unfair.
But he takes these spectacular, amazing shots. And he's sarcastic and he's fun. So that's another one that really I like.
My ones, my teammates, my God, they're high motivators. Kyle's definitely up there. Beth is my number one. She started me out. She's my superhero locally. For like TV chasers, Reed. I'll tell you, Reed, his passion is insane. I watched Storm Chasers and I've been watching it again. And I'm sorry if I did not like Sean Casey. He obviously didn't know anything about storms and didn't care to learn, but he was totally cool yelling at people where to go. Pissed me off. I realize it's a TV show and it was probably somewhat dramatic, but still, it irked me. But Reed, like, just how passionate he still is. The guy sees 87,000 tornadoes a year and he sees a little stovepipe little funnel coming out and he loses his mind. Huge tornado. And it's hard to keep up with that intensity. And then I met him and I thought, never meet your heroes. Nah, he was super cool. Like, not a bad thing to say about the guy. A lot of people don't like him because he's super intense. But he's been always kind to me every time I met him, so... And he's hilarious.
And if you guys haven't ever, or if you guys are wondering, if you meet him in person on a chase, the way he is on TV is exactly how he is in person. If
not worse.
Like, even when the cameras aren't running, like, it's that high intensity all the time.
It's like constant, like ODing on caffeine pills with that guy. But it's like when you meet him, it's if you're still on a chase, it powers you up. It doesn't matter if it was a blue sky bust 20 minutes ago. You're gonna chase a cloud. You're like, all right, that's a tornado. But yeah, a good thing to know too when you guys go out chasing, or if you start your chasing career, is 60 to 70% of this is forecasting storm structure, understanding how things work, and the rest is all luck. And I'm not kidding. Like, you can luck out, be in the right place. You can be luck out and be on there's a north storm and a south storm. You go to the south storm, everyone goes to the north storm. 50-50 which one's going to produce, regardless of the environment. And it's...
Padoka Rodeo.
Yeah. So it's something like that. And, like, yeah. But I strayed from chase heroes, but I had so many. But, man, Alberta's been really good to me. Like... I'll make a whole video about all the good people, I tell you.
It could go on for days.
It really could.
There's way too many.
I think, honestly, and this isn't just me being cheesy, my biggest chase hero, though, is Carmen.
Oh, stop it. I was going to say you.
Yeah, too
Damn
late.
You stole mine.
It seems like every time we chase, it's like the first or second time, but we've been on, like, a whole bunch of chases together for over a whole bunch of years. Me and Carmen only realized we've known each other for, like, 7 years or 8 years. It's crazy. But like when Carmen says she wants to go chasing, I say I want to go chasing. It doesn't even matter if there's a storm. We'll just get in a car and see what happens. But it's there's times when you've been in a car with a person where you're like, I can't wait till this ends. But never once with Carmen. You know.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yet.
I feel the same, man. That's awesome. Yeah. It's always sad when I have to drop you off at your car. Send you on your way.
You get to go to bed, like on our 2-hour drive.
And you still got an hour and a half to drive.
I think Mike usually goes, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. You just hear a sigh.
My positivity really is in person, and he's got to tolerate it for like 9 hours. And
Mike's kind of like, his personality too is like he makes the funny cynical jokes too, so it's like a definitely yin yang thing.
Oh yes, we're total opposites.
Yeah, which works. Yeah. All right, well, I think that covered way more than we intended to. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that we're gonna get Brooklyn Hagen. Yes, my daughter, she's got her driver's license, so she's going to be joining me on some chases this year. So, you know, she looks like she's 8, but she's not. Okay, guys?
Who, Carmen?
No.
Like, thanks, I think?
Maybe
my
not.
daughter.
No, that's something. It's yeah, like everyone does talk about the kids chasing thing, and I have kids that definitely wouldn't be chasing with me just because one's 6 and one's 4. But I always get scared because like it's cool if you go out and like far away from the storms and stuff like that and see lightning. But I always like think about that one time I accidentally get cored and I got my kid in the car and I'd never forgive myself. So, but yeah, that's my thing. But as soon as they get old enough to be like, well, first, screw you, Dad. That'll be, I think, about 12. That's when I think it's okay. When they can start making those decisions and can run as fast as I can, then they're good.
And she loves weather as much as I do. She's read up on it since she was a little kid. Yeah. So I might as well teach her the ropes safely with me rather than her just deciding to take the car and go do it herself.
And like, honestly, that's the best time to learn too. And storm chasing can be a great family experience too, as long as you're not like an idiot like me and my sunroof.
But it was great chatting to everybody. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to pop on and do some more of these live chats, take your questions, visit with you all, because it's really great to be able to chat with everybody. Yeah,
and we'll try and keep up with the chat. I think we did pretty good with the chat this time. We'll come up with a way to handle chats as they come up. For like most of this, this is going to be kind of YouTube kind of stuff, and it's hard to keep track of. But when we start doing things in the back end with our Patreon as well, having the group chat, we'll actually have you guys be able to even zoom in and actually have a 100% conversation. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Perfect. Right. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Again, it was great to chat with all of you.
Yeah. And remember, you could follow us on Sheer on Facebook, Sheer WX Severe Weather Chasers on Facebook, Sheer WX Severe Weather Chasers on YouTube, Sheer WX on Twitter, Sheer WX on Instagram, TikTok. I think we're Sheer WX Team or Sheer Team, something like that. Yeah. And then Jenny's got hers. Wait, hold on. I have to point to you. There, yours.
We're going to be doing some TikTok streaming this year. Sheer doesn't have enough followers yet, so get on there. So we're going to be doing
That's not a desperate thing. We can't live stream because we don't have enough followers. That's not a desperate, like, we don't have enough followers. We legitimately don't have enough followers to activate the stream.
Yeah, so we can't live stream on there because you need 1,000 followers. So we're going to be doing it for my Lost in Sask TikTok, some live streaming on there. So until we got enough.
Yeah. And once we got enough, we'll live stream
We'll move it over. Yeah.
And I might even, I'll buy a license to Streamlabs and then we'll just do multi-streaming. But until then, that'll be one of the things we save up for. But keep an eye out for our Patreon, and we'll do some really neat behind-the-scenes stuff. And for our Patreons, for our patrons, sorry, I have to learn the lingo first. We'll have some really neat behind-the-scenes stuff, plus maybe some like custom stickers or custom shirts that you can't get anywhere else that we haven't technically made yet, because this is an idea I just literally came up with right now. Yeah? Someone write that down.
It sounds like Chris has got some work for me to do.
This is such a problem with me. Carmen's supposed to stop me. Why did you stop me?
I'm going to stop you after we're off.
Oh, that's smart. All right. So,
bye, Jennifer. See you, Shannon.
Bonnie, thank you for thinking this was awesome. Our insane ramblings. And please follow us during the streams. Please follow us during the videos. The streams are so much fun for me to do. It enhances it. Even when we're going to the storm, it's just fun to interact with you guys. So, yeah. If anyone else doesn't have anyone to insult, I think we got all of Mike's stuff.
Mike left, so I can't keep bugging him. But Jen's here, so I'm sure she'd enjoy some harassing about Mike.
Yeah. We just want to hear some terrible stories.
Exactly.
That'll be for a different stream.
We'll announce on the page again when we're going to go live and have one of these chats. Hopefully we can bring on a few more of the team. And
I was thinking we're going to have to make it like a Comic-Con panel, because that's a lot of people, but we're going to make it happen.
We've got like 8 members, right? 8.
I have to recount. We have 47 members? I don't know. We at least have 3 now, so
yeah.
I think 8. 8 sounds right. We're going to count how many members we have, and we'll get back to you. Jeez. But yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in, and please follow us. And if there's anything you want to see or anything you'd love to see in the future, let us know. And because there's something wrong with my head, I will work on it regardless of what it is. So flying cows, I guess. But bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you.